Any other question, please? Yes, that's the problem in England. I know. I know that's the problem today, is that they don't want to know and they are very skeptical. But things are working out nicely now. You see what it is after all. God is also anxious that people should get it. Now I'll tell you how it's working out. Like the other day, I was not there, but my husband saw a program about a comedian who said that he gets a cool breeze. He was talking about his revelation. He said, suddenly I started getting cool breeze in my back. And I don't know what it is, but I felt very relaxed, and so many people feel relaxed when they sit together with me. Now, he doesn't know anything. He's very vague about the cool breeze, but he felt it. That's a revelation he gives. Now, just before that, 2 days before, we were discussing amongst themselves, and they said, Mother, how many people you need to have that syndrome? What is it called? 100 monkey syndrome. I hope you have heard about it. That when the 100 monkey learnt a trick, every monkey everywhere started doing that trick, sort of a thing. I said, it will be very soon. And just imagine, this fellow started feeling this cool breeze on his back. Now he came on the television, and the television were very, very skeptical, as you said, very, very. And I didn't bother much about it. I said the time will come by itself. Because we don't take any money and we cannot pay any money for any such things. Now, when somebody met them and told them that this program has taken place, there's somebody who knows all about this thing, immediately they came to me. And now they want me to have a program. And once it starts like that, people will come round. The trouble is, you see, human beings have so much of a barrier of their ego also. They are very insensitive people. Moreover, say, a traditional country like, say, Rome, Egypt, I find they are much more sensitive to divinity than to absurd things. You'll be surprised in Rome, now we are sitting down here, so I can tell you, in Rome, no guru has been successful. No guru has been successful. But when I went there, just seeing my photograph, the mayor was so amazed. He said, it's divinity. Just seeing my photograph. And he took it over, he gave us a hall free, he published it, and he made so many posters, he put it all over. It's working very well in Rome, but not in England. I have been here for 10 years working hard, but English are rather hard people. Doesn't matter, it will work out. And then also in Egypt. Egypt is another place which are very traditional people. Another I found is Greece. They are very traditional, and in tradition what happens? You start learning by making mistakes. You see, believe in Rasputin, you believe in this and believe in that, and then you start understanding what is reality, how we'll get it, and that's how they come to it. But here just people read, and they reach nowhere. They're so confused. I don't blame them for all this, but I must say that they must come to terms with reality and try to understand that you cannot purchase it, first of all, and you cannot work for it. It is a spontaneous living process of the living God. This is what we have to understand. And once we understand that, it will work out. I'm sure. I understand that people are like that. And you'll be surprised, I've been working 10 years in England. And we don't have so many Sahajogis as we have in other countries. Even France is better, surprisingly. Much better off. France and Switzerland is much better. But England is the one that is lacking very much, and I'm working very hard here. India, of course, is 1,000 times more. So it's all right. It will come. English are that way very balanced, sometimes overbalanced, you see. One thing good about them, they know how to laugh at themselves. So it may work out. Who's there? Huh?
She says that you said that the gurus, you've said that the gurus often do more harm than good.
Yes.
How do we know that you may not be doing more harm than good?
Yes, of course, maybe I may be doing, no doubt. You must keep that open, but you can talk to people who are always, when you go to a guru, actually I've seen when you come to me, you ask me questions. But when you go to these people, you go headlong, absolutely headlong. I've known people who paid 6,000 pounds to go to Switzerland and eat only potato, water of the potato that is boiled, and they live there without asking a question. That is one of the signs that you are free. Secondly, you must know that what others have been to me, what has happened to them. Thirdly, you should know, why should I harm you? What is my advantage? Because I don't take any money from you, nothing of the kind. By God's grace, I am living very well in my life. Perhaps I am very well off in life. I don't need anything from anyone. So why should I do it on another life where I am at a very high level? So why should I come to you? For what? What am I going to gain out of it? So credibility must be established through the disciples. You never see the disciples. You just go headlong because you are mesmerized. You don't even think about it. You don't even ask questions. I asked them, why didn't you ask questions? Why are you taking 6,000 pounds? Oh, they said, Mother, we were walking under the blanket. And the person who was the head of that organization in Scotland became epileptic. His daughter became epileptic. His wife became epileptic. And then he came to me. Then he came to me in that state. And I had to keep them in my house to cure them. So those people who have been to me, like Dr. Warren has been now, he was a patient of high blood pressure, all kinds of things. He got cured. Not only he's cured many people. And there are so many here who have been helped. People who used to were alcoholics, drug addicts, all of them have become all right. So you must see them and see how they are. And you can see how they talk, how they know. But in any other guru's place, it's such a hierarchy, you cannot even reach them. And somebody who talks remembers everything by heart and says something. There's nothing spontaneous, nothing, they don't know anything about it. So credibility must be established, first of all. But that you don't do with anybody else. Only with me. That's a good sign for me that I give you freedom. What's it?
Okay, she says that surely all paths lead to Rome. You were speaking about the Dalai Lama, and what's wrong?
No, but some lead to hell also. We must know. Every doesn't go to Rome, but can go to hell also. Of course, all paths lead to Rome if the person who takes you there is a right guide. Is the right guide. You cannot go to hell and then say, come back to Rome. You cannot. The people who are right guides can do it. They don't take any money. They don't do it. They give you realization. They make you something different. They make you righteous, virtuous, and great people. It's a very different thing. And not those who just profess something or say something. They do not accumulate wealth. You see, they are self-respecting people. They are not parasites. They don't live on your living. How much did Christ earn? You have such a great example of Christ. Why do you go to anybody else? Did he take any money? He was sold for 30 rupees. What Christ has said, thou shalt not have adulterous eyes. I would like to know what Christians are there. Which Christians have those eyes which are not adulterous? Have you got innocent eyes? There's no lust and greed in your eyes? Face yourself. Those who talk of these things have all those much greater sins than what you have. How can they improve you? They are the ones who are living on others' property, others' money. Will you live on somebody else's property and earnings? Making the children to get out of their houses, sell their houses, go on the streets. Will you do that for anyone? Taking money from the poor, will you do that? You are so good. Must understand. Use your brains. But when you get realization, you develop those innocent eyes. The eyes are so powerful, even looking at somebody with those eyes, you can give realization. You can cure them. Like the other day we had one, what was his name? The one who came to one journalist, you see, who came and who said that it is said that you can cure people. I said, all right. So he said, there's one lady who is suffering from the disease of agoraphobia, and she doesn't want to come out of her house. So how will you cure her? I said, all right, if she cannot come, get me her photograph. I can't go to her house. Sort of challenging me. I said, all right, bring her photograph to me. He brought her photograph to me. I just looked at the photograph. She's like this for 10 years, he said. And he said, you must cure her. I said, all right, I'll try. It's very easy to cure this disease at least. And I said, you just leave her alone for 8 days. But he couldn't, you see, resist. So he went like a CID there to find out what was going on. And when he went to her house, she was not there. She was out on the move with her husband having a nice stroll, and he's now going to publish a very good article about it. No, not at all. Not a healer. I'm not a healer at all. I'm a person who wants to give you self-realization. It's not a question of spiritual healing. Spiritual healing are also two types. One of them is, of course, the people who are realized souls. Like the other day we went, of course, we met somebody. Where was that? A taxi fellow who came with us? The taxi gentleman who came in the car thing, I knew he was a realized soul. So he just started talking to me. He also felt that nearness. And I said, do your fingers tingle sometimes? He said, yes, very much. I said, are you a healer? Yes, he said, I'm a healer. I said, how do you know all about it? I said, do you feel very guilty? Yes. I said, I know that. He said, how do you know? I said, I know somehow. But you want to know about it. Because he was a realized soul. He was a realized soul. But there are healers who are not realized souls. They are the people who use spirits. They shake before you and shout, and that's very dangerous. A realized soul doesn't have to do anything. Only touches you, will be all right. He doesn't have to shake and do all these tantrums. Because you are so naive, I must say, that's why there is such a problem. Very naive. In the West, we have developed our tree very well, but not the roots. We don't know anything about the roots. I was amazed myself, because there's no idea at all. Not in India. India people know this. They know this. Like we put dead in the church. In India, nobody would put dead in the church. It's a holy place. How do you put the dead there? But this is what it is. You are naive, I know. And despite that naivety, you are also very adamant. So what to do now? It's a difficult question sometimes for me. Doesn't matter. It works out. Yes?
Could you explain what you mean by this energy rising through the spine? And isn't it just really the same thing as a tingling up the spine? Perhaps, do you mean of a more physical kind?
Yes.
A feeling of awe. Is it a feeling of awe?
Awe.
He's relating the feeling that you might have up your spine to a feeling of awe, and perhaps saying it's...
There is I have not known such a thing as that. I don't know. It doesn't happen like that. You see, when the Kundalini rises, you don't feel anything, nothing of the kind. Only thing you feel at top of your head, a cool breeze, all right? And in the hands, you feel a kind of a cool breeze coming out. But in the beginning, you might feel little heat, because if you have too much heat in the body, then you might feel a little heat coming out. Sometimes people who are very nervous type shake a little, that's all. But this thing I have never known is some sort of a funny thing, maybe coming from somewhere, I don't know. All kinds of permutations and combinations I've seen happening to people. Like one gentleman, he sat on the ground with the feet towards me. In India, it's not done. So people said that, how can you put your feet towards Mother? It's not done. So he said, no, my Kundalini is awakened and I jump like a frog. I said, who told you? He showed me a book of his guru written down that you jump like a frog. Can you imagine? I asked him, are you going to become a frog now? All kinds of permutations and combinations. You don't know how many things are there, published all over the world.
Right. He wants to know, how is this awakening initiated? The awakening of Kundalini.
It's very simple, as I told you, just like sprouting of the seed. That's my job. But then once I have done it, you have to do it also. All right? on that promise. Now, at this good time, why do you want to know hell? You see, it is described very well if you read any one of these great poets, especially I would say read William Blake. All right? It's already described so much. Why do you want? I want you to enter into the kingdom of God. Hell is, when I am saying to hell, you might get epilepsy. I've seen people getting epilepsy, people getting lunatic, leaving their homes, running away, hating everyone, killing each other, killing themselves, killing their parents, violent. They take to drugs, take to all kinds of things which are self-destructive. What I mean is self-destructive in one word. All right? Oh.
What about people who suffer from these things from birth? Really,
yes.
You're getting off the subject.
All right. If they suffer from this, there is something else is responsible. But they do suffer, isn't it? But those who have not suffered and are normal and go to these gurus, pay money and get it, then at least you will hold these great gurus responsible or not. What is it? What is it?
Do you feel there are not any other gurus who
Oh,
are...
many. There are many. But they are not in the market. There are many, many more. Many there. Beg pardon?
Are there any who can be beneficial to you?
Beneficial to you?
To anyone?
To anyone. Yes, they are. But just see now, in this crowd, I'm talking to you, you are asking 10 questions. They have no patience. They have no patience at all. I tell you, they are so impatient, all these gurus, that you have no idea. They just can't bear it. I asked one gentleman to go to America with great coaxing and everything because I had no time to go there. Within 3 days he ran away from there. He said, I have no time for these stupid people. Just he cancelled it. You see, because I am a mother, I have patience for you. They have no patience for you. What am I to do? They are telling me after 12 years we'll come and help you, mother. They know me very well. There are so many, they have met some. But they don't want to talk to people who are, they think they are stupid. What to do now? They think all seekers are stupid people. What am I to do? They have no patience. You have to have a mother to have patience, isn't it?
Let's finish here.
Now,
Mothers,
there's no end to it, my child. These questions have no meaning. By asking questions, you are not going to get realization, I must tell you. I cannot guarantee it. I cannot guarantee it. If you get it, it's your luck. If you don't get it, it's your luck. So be careful. There's no need to discuss, argue. By argument, you are not going to get it. Listen to me. What am I going to gain out of you? Is this the first place where we have so many questions? Must be some Romans are around here, I think, reborn. Otherwise, I can't explain. I mean, nobody asks so many questions as you have asked me, which has no meaning. And supporting these fake gurus who have taken money from you, have disturbed so many people. Supporting satanic forces. Something surprising, isn't it? All right, doesn't matter. Now I have already told that. Now, that's all. If you want me to come back to Bath, please no more questions.
Let's have the experience.
But we'll see how many get realization here. That's the main point. Main point is not you are going to be judged by your Kundalini. Let's see. Before you judge me, she is going to judge you. So let's see how many of you get realization. I cannot promise you. That's the main thing I must tell you. All right, let's see how it works out. Now, whatever I've said, forget it. Let's have a pleasant relationship. That is, you are not to feel any guilty about anything, whatever I've said. You might have been to Guru, you might have done anything that's supposed to be wrong or right. Just forget it. Just now you sit in the present. You have to be in the present to get your realization. That's the most important thing. You are born on this earth to be that. You are a human being to be that. You are not here just to waste your life. And that's what I have to tell you as a mother, that you have to be humble about it. It's a very different realm you are in. It is nothing is selling here. It's not a shop. And here it's a temple. And in a temple you have to be humble and you have to get your realization. That should be your determination. But how many will get, that I cannot say. I'm sorry, but it's not a thing that I can promise all of you. But if it works out on some, I'll be very satisfied. That's my job is. Now let's have very simple things without asking any more questions. Now there's no need to be disturbed about it. If you have not asked one question, nothing goes wrong with you or with the audience. I tell you, even if you ask 100 questions, it's not going to make any difference. I must say, so far nobody has asked anything that is intelligent. And I think you better now give up asking questions. I'm a bit too intelligent for that. Now let's have it the way it has to work out. Let's have it the way it has to work out. If you are seekers and if you are in the present, I'm sure you'll get it. Now forget the past. Forget the past. One more thing I have to request, as I requested yesterday, that you are not to feel guilty about it. Because guilt comes from the past. So forget the past and you have to assert that you are not guilty. There are many people who are good and they'll get it. So you have to assert that I'm not guilty. Now you have to call me as Shri Mataji when you address, which is difficult, you can call me Mother to make it simpler, whichever way you like. So you have to say, Mother, I'm not guilty, just before starting this process. Now we have to humble down in our hearts, because we want to enter into the kingdom of God. But the one who is trying to do it, if you are all the time attacking that person, how will you go? How will you enter in? Just look at that. What is our attitude? Is it proper? It's not being fair, not just. All right. So we take out our shoes just to take help from the Mother Earth.